Test recording. Test recording. This is how you play an A major scale. Yeah, that's how you do it, so figure it out. Okay, so based on what I've seen on the internet, modes are a thing that confuse people sometimes. And I would like to help with that today because I actually learned modes in a way that is different, I think, from most of what I see on the internet. And I think there's a way for you to learn it without really knowing that much or really getting too deep into the music theory of the whole thing. Because I think most people right now, they teach it where you're thinking about whole steps and half steps and you're flatting or you're sharping certain notes in a major scale that you're starting with or a minor scale that you're starting with to get there. And I think there's a way easier way for guitarists in particular to think about it. For my method of learning modes, you're going to have to do a little bit of upfront work, and that is learning all of the major scale patterns, which you have to do anyway, or you should do anyway. And so they look kind of like this. So that's what they look like, and you'll notice that I didn't start and end on root notes when I played those, and that's because I'm just trying to show the pattern, like the full pattern of what the notes are. So this is your Aeolian mode pattern. You'll probably notice that that is an F sharp minor scale, but it's also your F sharp Aeolian scale, so they're the same thing. But that is your Aeolian pattern, okay? So no matter where you want to play, so if you say A Aeolian, if you just lay that pattern down, this one is your Locrian pattern. Ionian. This one's your Dorian. This one is your Phrygian. This one is your Lydian. This one's your Mixolydian. So what you're going to notice is that all of these scales I'm playing, or all these patterns I'm playing, are just the A major scale pattern, okay? And I'm learning the scale pattern on A major. But the thing is, whenever you play an A major scale pattern with a different root note, it becomes a different mode. And so really what I'm just trying to say here is that once you learn all of the regular scale patterns that you need to learn anyway, so if you're just going up and down the entire neck with those patterns that I just ran through, those are all the patterns that you would need to play A major along the entire guitar, right? And so once you learn those, then you're really set to just jump right into modes. This is another example of how this is working. Let's start with your Lydian pattern. So I said that this is the Lydian pattern, right? So I know that that is a C Lydian pattern right there. But basically, wherever you lay that pattern down, that is your Lydian pattern. So if you want to play G Lydian, that's it. So if you take a chord progression, for example, that's firmly an A major chord progression, or it seems like it. So that's A, D, E. You could play A Ionian or A major, which would be the obvious choice. But you could also play A Lydian. So I can't play it at the same time, but you could play that over top of that chord progression, and it would sound pretty cool. So one thing that you'll have to kind of navigate going forward is knowing when certain modes apply to certain chord progressions. Now, that's a whole lesson by itself. But just to get you started in understanding or just being able to play modes, it's really not that hard. If you know how to play a major scale, you know how to play all the modes. That's what I'm trying to say. If you are wondering, this is what lessons with me would roughly look like. My online lessons are done the exact same way. If you're interested in doing those, you can find me at willharken.com/lessons. Of course, if you have any comments or questions or just general mean things to say to me, you can leave those in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer them.